So what
I'll say this. He's not better than Peter Parker.
You're such a fucking hater. You're such a fucking hater.
I want to know why. I'm not saying whether he is or isn't. I mean, Peter Parker is the classic Spider-Man, but is he not better than? Okay,
decolonize your mind, brother.
You just said a lot.
First off, before y'all hit me with your Hotepi bullshit, I get it. He's black. He's Afro-Latino. I'm here for it. I thought it was amazing. But all of this Miles Morales better than Peter Parker bullshit got to stop.
I don't know. So people are saying
he's not better than...
he's now officially the number one Spider-Man.
He's not better than Peter parked car.
Well, I can't. you know, but you know why?
Let's start the fucking show.
Warning. This is a global blackout. Testing the left speaker. Left. Testing the right speaker. Right. Surround successfully recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for...
Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law. There's only one boss in this place, and that's me, the HNIC.
Check that recording, bro. Check it.
Woo! Right.
Spider-Man into the Polyverse. I mean, Spiderverse.
Wow.
There are things you will never hear. You must say that way.
Yo.
The HNIC B-roll.
Listen, unless you subscribe to our Patreon, where you still won't hear it, but I'll tell you, Wilson, we get your money.
Yeah, say that.
Woo! Woo! So, we just got done talking about The Flash. That was pretty solid first episode.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was fun.
So much so that we was like, damn, we need a alcohol re-up and a pee break. So here we are, episode 2, or I guess 1B, where we get in depth about the Spider-Verse. Y'all saw it before me.
Yes.
So I think y'all, take lead, because
I'm so glad we saw it before The Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'd have dog walked The Flash if we'd have saw it.
I actually think the other way around. Like, I probably would have been, oh, you know what? I don't know.
No, because I was like, no matter what, no matter how good this movie is, it is not going to be better than Across the Spider-Verse. Well, so
yeah, y'all came out the theater kind of like,
chill.
Y'all, I ain't gonna front. Y'all came out the theater like, hey, I mean, yeah, you got to see Flash, but also this is a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
I walked out. I remember loving the first one, Into the Spider-Verse.
Absolutely.
I did not think that a movie could do so much more with animation
Right.
than Into the Spider-Verse did.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse. So I think it was knocking some stuff out of the park. Like,
And
Absolutely.
the reason why I went into my special place, I wanted to kind of recall, is got nothing to do with movie plot, none of that shit. Just animation and art.
Yeah.
Period. Just animation.
It was like a spectacle to behold. Like the way they animated each different spider person.
Not that, you know what? If they put a TV in the Louvre and ran the Spider-Verse on a loop, it would do itself a disservice to be in the Louvre.
Wow.
That's how much of a animated masterpiece that movie is. And I'm prefacing it specifically because to animate different characters in different styles simultaneously
At different speeds.
and Toby was not the same speed as Miles. Gwen had a different palette color than everybody else. And to have the world be its own background and place. And there was just times where I was just like, this feels like Eon Flux and Cartoon Network and a Disney. You know what?
It did so much, and it did it correctly. Whereas some movies attempt to do so much and they fail. Across the Spider-Verse didn't miss a beat.
Across the Spider-Verse is an experience, period. And I'm hard pressed because I really love that first one. There is no greater scene than Miles Morales taking that dive.
The leap of faith.
Yeah. And to me, that I'll rewind that scene 1,000 times and watch that scene 1,000 times and get the same emotional butterflies 1,000 times. I did not get that scene for me personally like I had it in the first one. But when Miles jumps off the train with Spider-Man 2099 chasing him, that was my that's the scene that I would equate to that same feeling. And I was just like, you smart motherfucker.
So what they're doing with animation in this movie, because I mean it's across the Spider-Verse, so you guys know they're visiting different universes and different versions of Spider-Man, and there are major visual changes that let you know you're in a different universe, and there are very subtle ones too.
Doctor Strange did a good job of doing that too.
Okay.
Multiverse of Madness. Did a good job.
It was one of the few things they did well.
We're not going to get into it.
But the animation and we're going to talk about it later. But I think it becomes very important in the end of the movie because they pull a trick, a switcheroo that you don't see coming. But
no,
the
it's weird because I caught it and I was like, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. Right. But we just keep going along with it
because I mean they stuck with it, but you could subtly.
I was like, oh shit, he just glitched.
Yeah.
In fact, if you didn't
that, I caught it immediately.
But if you didn't say anything to me, I wouldn't have caught it. I wouldn't have caught it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. If you didn't say anything, I would have.
Because they reference it. It's like a part of your DNA, and it.
So spoiler alert, we're going right to the end of the movie.
Right. So it actually
fucked up that movie for you, didn't we? Nigga.
So as the DNA drawing is coming up, it flashes Universe 42 on the screen because that's the universe the spider is. Miles is from what?
16, 10.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to have that in mind.
And it was that fast, and I caught it, and I was like, wait, no, this isn't right. So when they go there, I'm like, this is like I felt so anxious watching it because I was like, he's not where he's supposed to be. Miles is not home. Where is my nigga right now?
So Addison, did we have the discussion about how I feel about what they did with Spider-Verse? How
We did have a pretty complex discussion. So do you want to get into it right now?
Well, nigga, I don't see. This is a continuation of the conversation.
Okay, all right.
So here's my issue.
Oh God.
Here's my issue, and I have to go back and watch the original movie. The original movie doesn't really allude to how that spider got into his universe. We now know it was because of Doc, right?
Well, Alchemax. So
It also
he worked at Alchemax.
Yeah, and also the first movie doesn't tell you that spider's not from that universe.
Right.
I actually didn't like that narratively.
Okay.
Because it felt shoehorned in.
Right. It doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
No, it's still, that's my big critique.
Yeah.
Of it doesn't make sense. Miles isn't the anomaly.
No, Miles is the rule.
Miles is the cause of you bringing a spider out of the wrong dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And Miguel's angst towards him is completely unwarranted.
Absolutely.
Because he's not the cause of there not being a Spider-Man in 42. And unfortunately, yes, call it fate, kismet, but Peter Parker dies and a Spider-Man takes his place. That was the way things were supposed to go in 1610. That yes, he belongs there.
Right.
So I don't think I don't think the movie makes a mistake by having Miguel say that. I think they're making a point. Miguel is
wrong.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's not.
Yeah.
Miguel.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll you're right.
Oscar isn't usually wrong.
So, oh my God, he was great. He was great.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh no.
I can't wait for Grogu to come out. Shut your bitch ass up.
There's a couple of things about this movie.
Wait, that's not Oscar.
No,
Yeah,
that's
totally
Pedro
flopped
Pascal.
that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
correct
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
no,
let that fly.
We just let it go.
Yeah.
I was like Star Wars. It's fine.
Wait,
Yeah.
in my head, I was like, that's not right. I was like, Moon Knight. Oh, I fucked that up.
No, because I was like Poe Dameron, Star Wars. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll correct you
Later,
later.
There's a couple of things about this movie. There's the animation. We were talking about that a little bit. It's amazing. There's the ending. I don't know if we say it has one or it doesn't have one.
As a cliffhanger.
It's a
cliffhanger.
major cliffhanger, like
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future.
Y'all ended it in a really fucked up place.
Yeah.
You waited to get my giblets all tussy. They was moist and well warmed. And then right when I was ready to release, sweet release towards the end and climax, y'all were like, oh, don't bust that nut just yet. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Except we won't be right back. We'll see you next March.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's a part in the Dark Knight where there's multiple points in the Dark Knight like this. But there's a few where you think the movie's over, but it keeps going. Right? Like I could have swore when Joker's in the
police car.
In the police car with his head out the window, I was like, that's it. And now we're gonna have to wait till 3. They was like, no, there's more movie. And they finished it. Well, Spider-Man doesn't. It stops right there. It's like, no, we're done.
And I thought it was gonna keep going. I was like, wait, where's the thing?
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised because the way again, I saw it later than they did. Everybody was touting how great Toby was in it. And he was. It was phenomenal.
Toby?
What did he?
Hobie.
Is that what I said? That's what that nigga
Hobie.
named Hobie.
Daniel
Hobie.
Kaluuya, the guy from
Yes.
Get Out, plays Hobie.
Spider-Punk.
This is how much I've had. All right. Be happy that I said that nigga name at all.
It's
Hobie.
Hobie.
All right.
Hobie, Spider-Punk, new favorite Spider-Man. Absolutely. The best character in the fucking movie.
You got him right.
Yeah.
That's
He
my
was
mate.
incredible.
He
Yeah.
comes over to my flat. They bring me scones.
Stop.
Fuck the establishment.
He's in there.
Yo,
I
right.
love that.
I don't like labels.
So talk about animation, right? His character design is always flashy, different styles.
Yeah.
He won't conform. He's an anarchist. He doesn't
Yeah.
believe in following rules or being told what
Fuck
to
you,
do.
Miguel.
And so he's constantly in and out. He's fluctuating out of time, and anything he touches is like flash in
Yeah.
different styles. It was crazy. It was just wild.
He's actually animated at a different speed than everyone else in the movie as well.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it's like
I really
the
like
whole thing is just a real feat of artistry, of animation.
For the remainder
artistry.
of this interview, I'll be doing
Please
this terrible
don't.
Cockney
Just
accent.
It's
don't.
rough.
I couldn't get his name right, but I can get this accent.
You can't.
Name's Toby though, isn't it?
And then his name Obi.
Yeah.
Obi. They call him Obi.
Somebody in England is
Stop.
listening to this.
Right.
Like, these bastards. The worst.
His flat is over there by
I actually
Scotland Yard.
thought Hobie was the bad guy. I was like, this nigga.
Yeah, he thought he was the
I
one.
thought he was the bad guy.
By
He
the
turned out to
way,
be the fucking hero.
Yeah.
he was Obi's the one putting his you know what I mean, right in Gwen's bum.
I don't know his name.
Stop.
Happening.
He's giving her the
Not
business.
happening.
He's definitely
Happening.
giving her the morning
Not.
sausage, if you will.
So what about the other Spider-Man? Because this movie, it doesn't start with Miles. It starts with
yeah.
Gwen and spends like 15 to
It
20
was
minutes
okay.
with
Oh
her.
no. Hold on. Pause. I said this, and you nerds had such a fit from me tweeting this. The name of this movie is what?
Across the Spiderverse.
Across the Spider-Verse, not the Miles Morales solo movie.
Yeah.
This is a Spider-Gwen movie with a Miles Morales background. It is very heavy on both, but they run parallel
I
to
can
each
see
other.
that because she's the one telling the story more or less.
Eh,
She bookends it. She's
See,
the one talking. At the
Thank
beginning
you.
And talking
You
at the end.
begin and end the movie
with her.
with
father.
her.
Yeah.
And that storyline, that theme with her father runs congruent through the whole thing, so much so that it bleeds into Miles's
Yeah.
story. We got to suspend this. This is a Miles. This is not a Miles. Yes, the first one was about Miles
Yeah.
Morales. Now we are being introduced to
The Spider-Verse,
Right.
niggas.
So
I will say
Madam
no.
Web's coming.
No.
And
I'll
Silk.
still say that it's still a Miles Morales story, but you can have more than one person telling a story at a time.
I think it's a Spider-Gwen story with Miles as accompaniment.
So I feel like not that they didn't commit, not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like they stopped just short of making it a completely a Gwen movie.
I
It's,
can agree
it's
with that.
close. She does have she has the complete story arc
Yeah.
more so than anybody, even Miles.
Bro, she's the one
But-
who
She
saves
does.
them. She's the one who educates them. She's the one who brings them.
She's
into
also
thing.
the fucking villain. More so than the fuck like Miguel is bad, but Gwen and Peter B. Parker,
They-
fuck you guys.
I think
Yeah,
I
These
think
white
mad at
people
them.
can't be trusted.
See what happens when you trust white people.
I feel
Miles?
like all right, Empire Strikes Back was a complete expansion of the first Star Wars, right?
But
Now
would
you're
you-
really going to get into these other characters.
But would you ever say the story wasn't about Luke Skywalker?
Right.
I don't. You know what? No. You know, I didn't start the comparison. I guess I should follow through with it. No, I wouldn't. But Empire Strikes Back, you spend a lot of time without Luke on screen.
Okay.
Now you don't devote that time to any one character. Like you spend time with like Leia and Han. They get separated, and you visit all of their stories. And you learn more about. Like Luke spends a lot of time on what
Dagobah.
Yeah. While his friends are elsewhere. You can think about the Dark Knight, like from Batman Begins, is very focused on Batman. Dark Knight
It's a Joker movie. It's a Joker movie.
I don't know if I don't think the movie's about the villain,
No, it's not. It's
but he's the best part of it. Absolutely. But you also
When you say the Dark Knight, who do you think about more? Heath Ledger.
well, you think about the Joker, but I mean,
When you say Spider-Verse, who do you think about more?
I still think about
About
Miles.
Miles.
Really?
And I don't know if it's because Gwen gets a lot of screen time, but I don't think she gets more than Miles. I think it's a lot. It's close. You spend a lot of time with her character, but I still think because you spend a lot of time with Miles. Think of how much time you spend watching Miles talk to his parents, or how much time you spend with his parents. You did not spend that much time in the first one.
No, the time that she spent talking with her dad, the time she spent talking with Jen, the time I would love to go back and go minute for minute screen time. And they share the screen a large majority of the time. And even though, yes, Miles has his fight scenes, but so did Gwen. Gwen had that whole opening sequence.
Yeah, in the art museum.
Yeah,
she did. She gets like a good 15, 20 minutes. You got to learn who she is
before
you can go
before
forward.
Miles even shows up on screen.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I would love to go a minute for minute. Who had more screen time, Miles or Gwen? I think you will find that it is at least comparable or closer than you think.
Okay. I don't disagree. I just think it's an expansion of the world.
And
in the first Star Wars, really, Luke is the only one who really gets a story arc. And Empire Strikes Back, a bunch of characters do.
Right.
Same with Batman, going from Batman to the Dark Knight, a bunch of characters get story arcs. And I think that's the case with this one. Multiple characters get story arcs. So I still think like Gwen is very important to the story. So she drives as much as Miles' decisions. Miles' decisions
she's the storyteller.
Without Gwen, Miles does not learn about Miguel.
But Miles' decisions push the story forward.
Yeah,
I get that, but without Gwen, we don't even get.
I'm not saying she's not.
Well, yeah, every part, but you need every part of the story.
Yeah,
but I still think Miles. So Miles has to decide to follow Gwen to the next universe.
Right.
Has to decide to save
Captain Stacy.
Yeah. And well, what was it, Captain Singh?
Yeah,
It's the same issue that Barry Allen has. The issues that he has is the ones that he created.
Well, but his decisions drive the story. Is the point I'm saying? He has to decide to go save his dad.
Also, Miles doesn't create the problem. Gwen does.
No, that Doc does.
Yeah. All right. So see, there's a lot of blame to go around too.
Yeah.
Spot starts
it. Gwen makes a bunch of dumb mistakes that lead to problems, but Miles has to follow her to the other universe.
Right.
And Miles has to come back to save his dad. And think of how much chaos that causes. And Miles has to decide to leave
everybody
New
fucked
York
up in this.
Go.
Miguel think everybody gotta die.
Miguel's an asshole.
And he don't know for sure because some traumatic shit happened to him. So now everybody got to do the same thing the same way.
Right.
Gwen out here seeing black men, knowing damn well that segregation exists in that universe.
Damn.
Her daddy. Listen, I swear for God, if my pappy try to arrest me, I'm not coming back to you, my guy. You picked your job over me. It ain't that deep.
He had a terrible moment.
He had my guy had a lapse in judgment.
A lapse in judgment. You were trying to arrest me for murder, my nigga. This ain't a lapse.
Listen, she dropped the bomb on him, baby. Right?
I can't.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean this wholeheartedly. Me and my mom, we go back and forth. Let somebody tell her your son committed murder. Well, I don't know that nigga. I didn't see him commit the murder. As far as I'm concerned, don't bring me no negativity. I just follow my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that's who I pay attention to. That's what's wrong with you. You need to mind your business. As far as I'm concerned, some people die every day, bitch. I'm just saying, my mama ain't gonna turn state's evidence on me.
I mean, and he doesn't in the end.
Whatever.
He actually quits his fucking job.
Yeah, after she disappears for 2 months on the land.
He realized what was important.
This nigga had to disappear in a portal and come back like, he's like, damn, where you been?
Listen, we know white fathers are problematic sometimes.
It
happens.
White police, all lives matter.
Woo.
Well, speaking of spider people, what do we think of the other Spider-Man or spider characters? No, not like
Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, my guy, depressive.
Yeah. I was just thinking about my man.
Your clone ass.
Fucking.
Your manic depressive.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, this is Ben Reilly.
That was excellent.
You mean you didn't like Peter Parker?
That's how we open this goddamn show, man.
Pavita Pavarkar. Yeah.
Pavardi.
I love that you had this.
Pavital is his name.
I love that he had the
Pavital.
spider buggy.
Oh yeah.
I think what I loved most was the comic book quips at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when he said Scooby Doo and he was
Yeah.
like in Cockney.
Yeah.
It at no point did Spiderverse not feel like you were in a comic book that just was continuously coming alive, jumping off the page. And there's a lot of movies that have done that well. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, even though it was part cartoon, part live action, you always felt like you were in a cartoon.
Yeah.
You always had that cartoon essence around you. And I love movies that do that very, very well. And it's not always easy when you're trying to do a lot.
Yeah.
Because Who Framed Roger Rabbit at that time, not to get off on a tangent, but that was like
revolutionary.
That was
so
unprecedented.
it wasn't the first movie
Right.
to
Cool
do it.
World did it, and there was a couple other. Well,
yeah.
I mean, what's the one that Disney got in the vault?
Song of the South.
Song of the South. They did.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a couple.
That was one live action cartoon you could have kept to yourself.
Yeah.
Zippity doo
Stop.
dah.
So I didn't know where that came from until I was grown.
we picking cotton today?
Oh no.
Stop it.
I'm just saying they could have kept that one in the goddamn vault. But to that point, Spiderverse absolutely immersed you in a comic book world, kept it comic book essence, kept it. I love that Miguel has the essence of Spider-Man, but with that black overtone. Because let me tell you something,
he's so dark and broody.
Miles's mother, played by
Look it up.
no, and it's a shame because I know her, Rosie Perez.
Is that her?
Yeah. That's Miles's mom. Rosie Perez plays Miles's mom, and when I tell you that Hispanic moms and black moms gonna be in your business, you bring a white woman home.
That's not Rosie Perez.
Who is that?
Luna Lauren Velez.
Who? I thought that was Rosie Perez.
No, it's not. That's why I was like, that's not her. She's too old.
Really? I thought that sounded just like Rosie Perez. Who that? She was on New York Undercover, wasn't she?
I think so. So she's on.
My bad. I got the wrong Latino.
Dexter, Oz. Oh, she.
I apologize. They all sound alike.
Oh, damn.
Man.
She was in New York Undercover. Wow.
I'm not.
Racist.
That's not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
So moving on.
I'm just not
Hispanic
wrong.
moms, am I right? Jesus.
I guess head Latin's in charge isn't happening. All right, so either way, I'm so wrong on that one. But also, Miles's mom, it was a great nod to how people of color handle their children, that lack of privacy, even having a present black dad and him navigating.
That's awesome.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's always refreshing to see, but also why I say Peter Parker will always be the better Spider-Man because
he don't have parents?
Because he's dripped in tragedy.
Wow.
So I'm glad you sort of contextualized that because I was gonna
let me quantify it. Peter Parker will always have the better origin story, in my opinion. Maybe not the better Spider-Man by the end of it all, but definitely the better origin story. Yeah, it's a classic.
Peter Parker definitely got the Disney treatment.
Right. Right.
So you're talking about Peter Parker in general, not a specific one.
Right.
So that's interesting because in this movie, the reason I can't come to a completely final rating on it because so much of it is dependent on what comes next because it's like a to be continued. But it's interesting. I think this movie directly addresses what you just brought up. Like, does the superhero have to have a tragic origin?
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's like that. It's like coming head to head with that. And Miles has kind of there's tragedy in his story. He lost his uncle. It's not the same as Luke. Well,
I mean, Peter loses, but Peter also doesn't have parents on top.
He doesn't have parents, and his uncle is basically his father, and then dies. Yeah. It's not the same for Miles, but this movie like challenges the idea that a superhero has to be have dead parents.
Black kids have a two-parent family where they're not poor and they actually have a decent house and he has a great education and a good life ahead of him. Yeah. And he still chooses to do what's right. What kind of nigger are you?
Oh my God. I think to your point, what it actually challenges is that notion that you can't have it all. That you can't have balance, you can't be a hero and have a good family life, that you can't have people that you love and that are close to you and save the world. Something is going to get lost along the way.
Especially when you let white women in your life.
100%. But Miles challenges that to say, like, my father doesn't have to die. Right. Like to him, Miles is like, I've already lost something. We don't. And I
don't need to lose more.
Exactly. I don't have to go on losing to be a good Spider-Man.
Right. Or to be Spider-Man.
Or yes, to be Spider-Man.
Like, and I don't all these canon events. I'm not to interrupt you, but like to your point, they think these canon events have to happen to be Spider-Man. But what happens if they don't? Just because Miguel saw a world destroyed doesn't necessarily it was because he broke the canon event.
Right.
Well, the reason the world got destroyed is because he fucked with the multiverse. He took the place of a Spider-Man who no longer fucking existed instead of staying in his own fucking lane.
So Miguel is like the exact opposite, right? He's like, you have to experience trauma to be Spider-Man. And I just love that conflict.
Because he's Batman in Marvel.
Right. Yeah.
Why does it take him so long to come in? It's just this thing.
Yeah.
Niggas coming down on the elevator.
I love that. I love that part. Like,
it's so funny. I'm replaying the Miles Morales version of the Insomnia game.
Okay.
And there's a scene in there where you're in Fisk Towers and he's riding down on the elevator. And Miles says, man, if he'd have made this elevator go a little bit faster, he might have got away from Spider-Man.
That's great.
And the guy in the chair is like, please don't give the villains any idea. And you see, and it was aching to Miguel coming down on the slow moving elevator.
Yeah.
You just gotta wait for him.
You just gotta wait for him.
It's a power move. But I just like that conflict, and I guess we'll talk about it more comparing this to the last movie we talked about, The Flash. But so The Flash, we had some discussion over who was the real villain. In this movie, who's the real villain?
Spider-Man.
Miguel specifically?
Okay. I'm not gonna hang it on Miguel.
Nah, fuck Miguel.
And
he classes.
Actually, that's a really good point. No. I think there is a solid villain.
I'm not saying there isn't.
I think it's Spot.
But that's my question. Is it Spot? Is it Miguel?
So is Spot the bad guy or is Miles the bad guy for egging him on?
Miles definitely.
No, he's not.
Miles the catalyst.
Miles is a catalyst. Yeah, okay. He's not. Miles isn't the bad guy, but he doesn't. When there's a moment, and it's right at the beginning of the movie, so you don't know where they're going yet, which I thought was brilliant about this. Where Miles could have handled his interaction with Spot differently, and how would that have changed what Spot became as the movie went forward?
He should have validated him as his nemesis.
So
he could have just, hey, buddy, there's another way to go about this. You know what I mean?
Hold on. First off, Spot shouldn't exist,
but he does.
So, if the spider. Is it supposed to...
The spider that the Spot brought from the other universe.
Well, see, here's what's problematic. Because that spider wasn't supposed to be in 610, right?
1610, yeah.
Yeah, so 42 spider wasn't supposed to be in 1610. 1610 spider fights Miles. Miles, in turn, is there when Peter Parker dies as his own version of Spider-Man, which then the collider causes Spot to become Spot. There's no other Spot in any of these other universes. Do you notice that?
Right.
Yeah.
There isn't.
He's the anomaly.
He's the anomaly.
He's the anomaly. And that's why he could traverse all these other universes, and it's only him. He doesn't run into a version of him because any one of those versions could have been done when he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now,
Spot is a Nexus being.
right, right. So that's what makes him the main central villain, because he is the only true anomaly. There are other Spider-Men. There are other Spider-Gwens. There are other Peter Parkers, Miles Moraleses. There's other dads, uncles, aunties, prowlers, everything. But there isn't, so far, we have not seen another Spot.
No, we have.
Yeah.
So he's the only one. Now, my only pushback to that would be in this movie, Spot disappears for like a good half hour, 40 minutes. He's not a part of the movie. Like he becomes his most powerful version of himself, and you don't see him again for a good while. And your main conflict is with Miguel.
Well, they always do the conflict with the hero. And really, that's not him being a villain. It's that I always consider that anti-hero shit.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like when no different. Okay, who's the villain in Civil War? Captain America: Civil War. When Bucky and Cap are whipping Iron Man's ass.
Zemo is the
Right.
Yeah.
And even though there's conflict between heroes, you're like, they'll work it out at some point because they have to. They're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They can be wrong. How? We just talked about it. Bruce beat the dog shit out of Ezra Miller.
Facts.
That was great.
That's
Dog
great.
walked him.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
So just because heroes fight,
But so Miguel does more than just fight. Miguel is the reason every Spider-Man believes, and we don't know yet whether it's true or not. We've got another like half a movie for real that we're waiting for to come in March.
Well,
But
not
Miguel-
even because Gwen's dad gives up his job as
well,
head.
Gwen,
right,
no,
right.
to that point, Gwen proves the canon event doesn't have to
Doesn't
happen.
have to happen. Yeah.
But Miguel has everyone believing they have to happen. Now, do you think in the next film he gets convinced, he changes his mind
Yeah,
and becomes a
absolutely.
good guy?
Absolutely.
You think so?
If it-
Okay.
well, that's just because it's the
I
comic book.
think Miguel kills Miles's dad.
Wow.
I don't think it'll go that dark.
Wow.
No way in hell. No way. Have you read
No.
Spider-Man 29 now?
I mean, no, but
No, that's not going to happen.
I'm not. He's a dickhead. And
I mean,
it would be an interesting I think he
So-
might come close to it.
Yeah.
So okay. Hold on. My little trollops.
Listen, I'm
Miguel-
I'm full Stephen King boogeyman right now.
Understand
Kill
Miguel.
him.
You understand Miguel is if comparable to Blade, to Punisher.
No, the ends
The-
justify
by
the
the
means.
means type
That's what I
stuff.
mean. Like, I think not killing, but I think Miguel gonna roll up on him.
No,
Like,
no.
you got-
I,
like, you
I
gotta
would
die,
believe
homeboy.
Miguel is about to kill him,
Yeah,
or he's like, this has to happen.
that's what I'm saying.
Or
Miguel's like, I'm really sorry, my
But at some point, Miguel will have his redemption arc and become the fan favorite. They fucking gave spider powers to Doc Ock, and we ended up loving him. They just not going to let Spider-Man become a full-blown asshole.
So I see the possibility. Like I see the way you're seeing it, and I don't disagree. That's a possibility. But I also see a version of the next story where Miguel dies because he can't let go of his obsession with making
with
things the right way.
Yeah.
Well, I think he might too be an anomaly because what did Peter B. Parker say? He said, "You don't tell jokes like the rest of us."
No,
Yeah.
And even
Very
Miles, they're
Yeah.
dropping little hints in there.
Mhm.
Even when Miles says,
Are you even Spider?
like we're supposed to be heroes.
Right.
It plants those seeds of doubts about his morality, and does his ends justify the means?
Right.
But at this point,
Like, nigga, you're the one who stands out here, not me.
yeah,
But you putting it on me to deflect from what's wrong with you.
right. And you got your trauma, but you're projecting
Right.
all your bullshit.
Like,
because
and not
you fucked up with your
not
emotions.
everybody has to be as traumatized as you. Like, talk about
Message.
talk about generational trauma.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
nigga, let it go.
Yeah. You're supposed to be the futuristic Spider-Man.
Right.
God damn. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How you handing trauma backwards?
And to the side.
Right, like, sir.
Go ahead, Doc.
Oh no, I was gonna say the other thing I like when we're talking about villains is how they just gradually brought Spot into
Oh yeah.
how they really
Slow
trick
walk
you.
him.
Yeah, they really trick you into believing he is just a
He just
like
goofed.
villain of the week.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get like 2 scenes with him and we're done, and it just gets
By
like
the end of it,
worse.
he-
Oh, he's
full blown.
horrifying. Yeah,
he's full blown like, and I love that he's jokey. He's like, and he'll do those subtle reminders. Oh no, I'm gonna take everything away from.
Yeah.
Like, don't get this fucking punchline
Right. Don't get it
like
twisted.
twisted. I'm going to kill your family.
But Miles has that foresight when he's fighting with him at the beginning, and he's like, "Yo, that was weird. Like, what the fuck?" And then at the end, when Miguel's explaining it to him, he's like, "Oh no, this nigga said he's gonna kill my dad,"
Yeah, like-
and Miguel's like, "Yeah, nigga, your dad just gotta go."
No, yeah.
Like,
He like, that's what that vision meant.
right, right.
Yes, bro. Like,
Right.
everything is
I-
you're in trouble.
But to me, Miles always has these amazing scenes that shows he is different than every other Spider-Man.
I'm different, bitch. I'm
Listen.
different.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we get exposed to his camouflage,
Yeah,
and that was a great
Yeah.
moment. And then his bioelectricity, I'm assuming, is gonna come.
So I love how Hobie teaches him. He's like, not just the tips of your fingers. He's like, use your use the palms of your hands.
It's
Like-
the prompts, bro.
Yeah. Like-
And I love that Hobie. Black people, y'all got to keep giving us electric powers. Is that what it is? Black lightning?
It's the
God.
spirit
Static?
of static shock. He's an ancestor.
For real? Aurora Monroe?
Stop it.
We just gonna keep giving niggas electric powers, huh? Okay.
Nigga, you got Luke Cage on the wall. He don't have electric powers.
Yeah, but he's the impenetrable, unshootable nigga. That's
Yo, don't we all wish he is the dream?
he's
and
literally the
he is
Black
the
Lives
dream.
Matter
No.
superhero.
He's
His
the dream
colors
black
are black
man.
and yellow. He is the Black Lives Matter. You
Stop.
jive. His catchphrase is "Sweet Christmas."
Oh my god.
They said, what if black people were bulletproof?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be over.
And the sad part is, they let the shirt get shot up, so you know we'd have killed that nigga normally. That'd have been a dead niggerus.
Yo. I feel like that's trauma baiting.
Yeah.
That's
You're like,
trauma baiting.
you know, the rest of y'all would have died.
Right.
Yeah.
No, such bullshit. So
He dropped his wallet. We put 14 in him.
yeah.
That's how they do. That's how
What
they do.
that joke DL made about kicking his wallet all the way home.
Mhm. That was Chris Rock. Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna kick this motherfucker. I'm not picking it up."
Yeah. Absolutely.
Either way,
I will say Hobie is the mentor to Miles that Peter B. Parker failed to be.
I wouldn't go there. He gave that nigga a couple tips.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, he did okay, but in this movie, like I
I
said,
think he's the
Gwen,
mentor to Gwen.
huh?
I think he's more of a mentor to Gwen.
Hobie?
Yeah. He left that joint in there. He was like, I already knew, bruv, that this shit was going to go upside all topsy-turvy. So I left.
Stop.
I'm going to use the accent.
Stop.
So I left it with your dad. Because your mom, she's dead.
Oh
so-
my god!
So I left it in your flat.
Miles needed Hobie in this movie. So,
Absolutely.
So to not just to learn.
Miles needed
Daniel
a
Kaluuya,
black, he needed a
I don't
black man
pronounce
to
people's
deliver
names
him.
right.
He did. He
Daniel
did.
Kaluuya, I never pronounce people's name right. I am pronouncing your name accurately because
Yeah.
you did a phenomenal
You
job
did.
A+.
using your normal voice.
Yes, he's
Thank you. Stop hiding.
Yeah.
You
Talking
fake ass
regular and
nigga
not with an
with this
American
American ass
accent.
Wakandan voice and
Oh
every
my
other voice.
God.
Yeah, I saw you in Sweet Jesus or whatever that what was it, sweet tea or whatever. What's it called? With the one where he with the girl when they on the run, the fake ass Bonnie Clyde.
Something
Slim,
Queen
yeah,
and Slim.
sweet Slim or whatever it's called.
Queen and Slim.
That John, I saw you, Daniel Kaluuya. Hey, you in the American accent and you in Wakanda. And finally, we get to see your British ass.
Well, it was fantastic performance.
It was.
You did good,
I did
bruh.
like Issa Rae as Jessica, even
I
though
did.
she's an asshole in this movie too.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Oh yes. I can't
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whew.
Yeah.
I love that honestly, black people stick together in this movie though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the
he gets
spider
a lot of
bite the
help
girl.
from-
Yeah.
Spider Bite looked him out.
Yeah.
Hobie looked him out.
Yeah.
Stop hanging out with other spider people who don't look like you.
Some of my
I do
best,
not think that was the
Yeah.
lesson.
It
You're supposed to take away.
But Dad, some of my best friends are white.
Listen. All I'm saying is, Miles, the ones that got you out of the toughest spots
Yeah.
was the ones that understood what it's like to be oppressed, brother. And your mama told you not to chase that woman.
So let's get into the rating. Let's get into the rating. Who wants to go?
10 out of 10. No, and nobody. And if anybody says anything less than a 10 out of 10, get the fuck off the podcast. Because it's a
Wow. Ow.
Okay. So
Spicy.
just because you said that and you said it the way you said it, I feel like we have to have a discussion about. We're gonna have to have a discussion about what a 10 is and what
Like
other movies.
perfection.
it is a perfect animated movie.
Okay. So
It's
you
a
said
perfect
this
animated
movie is
movie.
perfect.
It's the perfect animated movie. It's
Okay.
right up there with Under the Red Hood. It's right. I mean, okay. Name me 2 other animated movies that run congruent with it.
So I think it's the best animated movie. It's the best computer animated movie I've ever seen.
Some people have tried to say Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. Stop it. I saw that in the
love
theaters.
Batman,
That shit's dated now. Let it go. Let it
Incredible.
go. Nah,
One.
doesn't
The
even come close.
Incredibles is great.
No, it's phenomenal. It does not touch Spider-Verse. No, there's nothing DreamWorks has ever done that has come close to what this movie does.
That's fair. I've seen all 4 Shreks.
Okay.
I stand on that.
Okay.
And I mean, we could do a quick search of all the animated movies that's come out in the last 20 years or so, just in case, because I'm not going to be just talking out of my ass.
I will say I agree-ish. Like to me, it is the best Spider-Man movie of all time for sure. Like, and
Ever? All the
and
movies?
I liked all the Spider-Man movies, with the exception of Tobey Maguire's third Spider-Man. for reasons.
I agree.
Right, for reasons. But to me, it's the best Spider-Man. Like, it's the most stylish. It has the best writing to me. Like,
So I'm gonna start at the top 20.
okay.
This is the top 20 animated movies of all time according to parade.com. Dumbo, stop.
Not even close.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm,
Yeah, it beats it. Spider-Verse? Stop. Don't even think about it anymore. Lion King. Definitely.
like nostalgia points for these last 2.
Yeah, but they're
though.
not better than that movie.
Oh.
My Neighbor Totoro. I don't even know what
No,
the fuck that is.
fucking My Neighbor Totoro is a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah, I don't know about Studio Giblets. The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up, Little Mermaid, Inside Out. Inside Out was really
Yeah,
good.
Inside Out was really good.
Shrek. Toy Story 3 probably runs a
Yeah, so that's
But Toy Story 3 is running off.
Fantasia.
It's still running off the hype of the first 2.
Finding Nemo, Bambi,
Well, this is
Beauty
a
and the
sequel.
Beast,
Huh?
Sleeping
This is a
Beauty,
sequel.
Yeah, but it don't have 2 sequels.
Spirited
behind it.
Away, Pinocchio, Snow White. Stop. None of this
Snow White
is number 1
is number 1 because
because it's
adjusted for
parade.com.
no. Snow White when adjusted for inflation is hands down
Yeah, the
the
highest
most
grossing.
animated movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like no other movie comes close.
Well, you know,
to
if
it.
you adjust my waist for inflation,
Oh,
I'm the skinniest nigga all the time. So
All right, so here's the reason I even asked the question because, we really got to talk about the scoring then. Because do we stop at it? All right, 10's the highest. Will we ever rate a movie above a 10, or is 10 as good as anything in
I feel like I've rated movies above a 10.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
but I mean,
11.
for
If that's
our-
the case, this is 11.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what's the case for our
All right.
our scoring? How do we score things? Absolute best is a 10. Perfect.
Now you're asking me numbers.
Yeah.
And shit.
No, here's
So do I think it's the absolute best movie I have ever fucking seen? No.
okay.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Okay.
It's not the best movie I've ever
It's not
seen.
even the best comic book movie of all
I-
time. Dark Knight.
And that, that's where I was going with it.
I don't know. I gotta rewatch The Dark Knight because niggas be talking about how good it is, and I'm just like,
The Dark Knight.
I gotta rewatch it. I just have to rewatch it because I'm like, I just don't.
I just want to put a little smile.
So I'm gonna reveal something. I started to write a review of Into the Spider-Verse.
You started to write something?
You started to write something.
I stopped. I quit. You're never gonna get it. Forget it, y'all. The title of it is Across the Spider-Verse the best superhero movie ever? And the subheading was, we have to talk about we have to talk about the Spider-Verse along with Infinity War, Endgame, The Dark Knight. So
that's
something we're
here's what hovers. Here's what hovers. We can't put it in movie because trying to say best movie of all time is just stupid.
Well, I wanted to say best movie of all time. We're talking about superhero.
Talking about superhero movie. Dark Knight, always in the top 3, bar none. Infinity War, always in the top 3 conversation, bar none. Civil War, typically in the top 5 conversation.
Okay.
I'll be top 5, yeah.
Top 5 conversation. Batman 89 is usually talked about very favorably, but I think it's like top 10, not top 5.
I like the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Anyway.
Such an asshole. Such an asshole. This is the same nigga who watched Dolph Lundgren being a superhero movie. He's like, oh, it's great. Yeah.
Listen, I'll give Far Away From Home. That's the last one, right? With all the Peter Parkers. Far From Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Because everything got home in it. Nigga, help me. But that Spider-Man movie is up there.
Yeah.
And the first Spider-Verse movie.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, until this one came out,
until
that was like the best animated movie I've ever seen.
Shot it right out of the fucking sky.
I hate to say this. I like the first one better than I like the second one.
Really? See, that's something we had to talk about.
Yeah, I still like the first one better than I like the second one. I think the music, the score, I mean,
I like the music better from the first one.
Yeah.
The score to me is way better in the first movie than it is in this movie. The music in this movie is forgettable. However, that's because so much more of the story
is Metro Boomin did an amazing job with the soundtrack, but I mean, it kind of get lost in the storyline.
Yeah.
Whereas, What's Up, Danger? That pivotal moment. That's like an anthem now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
not even the Sunflowers drawing.
And I like Annihilation. I that's the in the new drawing. It's a couple of good bangers in there. As far as cartoon, let me break it down. Mm-hmm. Cartoon superhero movies. Now you're talking about Under the Red Hood, Constantine's.
Yeah, like the DC films.
Wolverine versus Thor.
Okay.
And Wolverine, I mean, those are high up there, but nothing's touched the Spider-Verse as far as cartoon movies, period. Either one of them, either first or second one. So first and second one is in top 3 of that conversation, no matter what, period. Now, in overall comic book movies, I recently did a top comic book movies before this came out.
Okay.
Constantine was in my top 5. Personal.
Okay.
This is personal.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Constantine
is a live action or
the live action.
Keanu.
Yeah, I'm a big Constantine fan.
A lot of people complain though. They say that it's not a good Constantine like comic book adaptation.
I said what I said.
I didn't say it was a great movie because I love Constantine the movie as well.
Infinity War and Endgame was in my top 5. Civil War was also in my top 5.
Okay.
Dark Knight was number 1. And somehow Batman 89 made it somewhere in my top 5, even though that's 6 movies.
Y'all niggas.
but I say all that to say, after seeing this, I have to revisit my top 5. I do not know where I would put it, but
it's gotta make the list.
It's gotta be in the top 5 somewhere. Something's gotta get bumped. I just don't know what.
Okay, all right. I agree. I'll give it a 10. I do think, all right, it's the best animated film I've ever seen. It's beautiful. I love the soundtrack. I love the story. There's a little bit of fat on the story.
Agreed.
There's some scenes that run a little bit long.
Too long.
and that happens a few times in the movie.
That upside down talk with Gwen, I was like, oh my God. We get it. You want to put your dick in her. Move on.
You know, my back gets broken in every universe. No, Miles, not like that. Get your goddamn spider cock away from me.
Oh my God.
It's a beautiful scene. They want you to look at it. But
Right.
yeah,
Upside down.
It might, yeah.
Oh, I'm nauseous.
It's supposed to lend to that trope of tragedy and trauma. That like they are destined to
Don't
not.
black people have enough tragedy and trauma?
Oh my God,
Or
nigga.
white women.
It don't help that Spanish niggas like Miguel is passing it back down the timeline.
Yeah. I love that he's oppressed by another Latino.
Sir.
He's like, fuck you and your heritage. Pussy. Puta.
But this film is amazing, and I agree. It's probably a top 5 superhero movie, and I've really got to think about that too. Tef, what are you thinking?
Nigga, I gave it a 12.
There you
Like
go.
straight out of the theater.
There you
I was
go.
like, this is
Boom.
12 out of 10. Best movie ever. I loved everything. Even though I was mad they left us on that
Super cliffhanger.
Yo,
It is straight
that
up good
cliffhanger was
By the way,
ass.
I would follow Evil Miles way before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Prowler Miles.
That's a Prowler Miles.
On screen for a minute.
Yeah.
That
but
nigga-
man.
That nigga was like, pussy. I don't care if your daddy died.
Yeah.
Not my daddy. I said that's the nigga side.
Yeah.
That's the nigga side.
Yeah.
You can call me the Prowler. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
What's up, Danger? Yo, I love
Yeah.
that. I was here for it.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. So
Yeah.
I mean, either way, wrapping it up. This was a phenomenal movie. Definitely parallels with The Flash, but The Flash doesn't even compare to how great this particular movie was.
Yeah.
Both are worth a theater watch. Both are worth a theater watch. But
Ezra
spend your
Miller
money.
and DC don't deserve your
we
money.
didn't really get
But
into that
spend
out
your
loud.
money on Spiderverse well before
Twice.
She said do
Spider-Verse
two.
twice.
She said, "See, do 2 laps before you go back." And you might need to do 2 laps on Spider-Verse because there's a lot that you missed.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot going on. Yeah.
And I don't feel like we had to even get into the trans conversation with Spider-Gwen. It doesn't even matter whether she is or isn't. It's not. It doesn't lend anything extra to the
It
storyline.
doesn't.
And ultimately, y'all got to stop putting drama where people just want to express art. And I love this movie for its color schemes, its use of animation and expression. It is a lot to take in visually. I do not feel like this is a children's movie at all.
Mm.
It's a lot going on. You got to
I
be.
feel that way about Pixar movies. I was like, these movies aren't for fucking
Yeah,
children.
In and Out. In and Out was a kids movie that really
You
helped.
mean Inside Out?
That's what I said. Inside Out. I'll fuck shit up if you don't already know. Inside Out was a great movie that explained emotions to kids. This right here is
But it's
trauma
written.
personified.
But it's written by disaffected 30-year-olds trying to work through their shit. Like,
Like I said, it's a movie that helped teach kids, because that's what we are.
Yo.
My internal person was like, bing bong.
No,
Bing bong. Bing bong. Miles is trying to save his bing bong. So at the end of the day, I would definitely go see it as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse again.
Across the
That's what I
Spider-Verse.
said. Damn, stop correcting me. I said it right.
You'd be wrong as the fuck, but okay.
Yeah, look, that's the
I'm not taking off Friday. Sorry.
No,
what's
maybe
up,
you are.
danger. Like, at the end of the day, that this kind of wraps up our conversation, but we're going to get more in depth with other movies, other genres, other things. Definitely give us stuff to talk about. But I think we all agree Spider-Verse over Flash, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Why did you hesitate?
I wanted to wind up. I wanted to wind up. Yes, I was like,
niggas doing it for dramatic
yes.
pause.
I was about to say.
That's all.
Right, like we was about to turn around. And be like,
Be like, well, I mean, it
Wait, do you endorse pedophiles?
Oh my God.
That's right where we go to. Can't run back and change that in time, can you, Ezra? All right, look, we out of here. We'll talk to y'all later. Definitely tune into our live show where we talk about stuff like this, but with a lot more noise and less coherency. And it's like wrangling cats.
It's a lot.
Like this. Good night.
Nah.